Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha. It's Yahushua. So got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekah, Korash. The bonus to the apostles and the bishops and elders, a great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning, ye few sisters who are listening and learning. Coming into another lesson, truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord wills to be able to find. I'm Isaiah from the GMS Orlando Camp, and I don't know what I'm going to title this just yet, but this is Glenn Beck and some so-called Christian trying to break down 2nd Ezra 11, but going off, completely going off. And the head brother of our camp, the brother Nahoya, his channel is GMS Adawan Ratazar 2. He went into this lesson as well. This is a video from Glenn Beck from last week. And he broke down with the 3 heads on the eagle and the 12 feathers. So, Lord, wouldn't this be edifying? The point I want to make out of this is this guy mentioned the Apocrypha. He mentioned the Apocrypha in the Bible is a part of the Bible. This is the point I want to make on this. He went completely off on the Revelations, on Salaki, on the 2nd Ezra 11, but he made the point that the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. So Lord, wants to be edifying.
To Michael Rush. He is a author. A Remnant Shall Return is the book that we're going to be discussing today. And it's all about a prophecy of Ezra's eagle. And Michael, I think you are even one of the first to saying, I don't know, this could all be wrong. We won't know until, it's proven right or wrong, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this, I'd be the first to say I absolutely hope that this is not true.
Me too. But it is pretty fascinating. First, would you explain what the Apocrypha is for people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Apocrypha is a list of 14 books, and prior to the turn of just prior to the turn of the 20th century, the Church of England yanked it from all King James Bibles. But prior to that point, it was included as a supplement between the Old and New Testament from 1611 to just before the 20th century. So, when the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower, this was included in their Bible. So it's something that a couple hundred years ago, people were much more familiar with than they are today. Today, most people don't know much about it at all. Also, the Apocrypha. Go ahead, Glenn.
Go ahead.
See, they know about it. What happened is they exiting out the Apocrypha because of what's being recently taught. But you heard them say them Edomites came to America with the Apocrypha in their Bible, man, which is the full word of Yahweh Shema Shai. See, this is beautiful. Because you got Edomites that'll say this, and Jacob believe it. The Jakes that don't believe, the Apocrypha is not canonized. Which Apocrypha mean hidden, man. Let's listen to some more.
No, please.
So one of the reasons that the Apocrypha was pulled out by the Church of England is because it has errors in it. There's some historical inaccuracies and things.
See, he said some error. Ain't no error in the Apocrypha, man. They put it out because it revealed too much of the Edomites, who the Edomites are. It reveals and tell you and explains the reason why the word Gentile is in the New Testament. Because the Israelites had to follow the ways of the Gentiles, beginning with the Greek Empire, man. Because in the Babylonian Empire, the Israelites knew who they were. It was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. In the Babylonian Empire, it was the so-called Negroes, so-called Jamaicans, and so-called Haitians that was in the Babylonian Empire. And they knew who they were. It wasn't until the Greek Empire that the Greek ruler, Antiochus Epiphanes, set out a decree that the Israelites couldn't call themselves Israelites. So real quick, let's read this. In 2 Maccabees, this is 2 Maccabees 6. And 1 it reads, not long after this king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of God, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of the strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of the mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circle of the holy places, and besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbidded. This is in Jerusalem during the time of the Greek Empire. Now, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or profess himself at all to be a Jew. See? So this goes back to the Greek Empire. Ain't no errors in the Apocrypha, man. Now he'll tell you that the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible, but he'll tell you there's errors in it. See, that's what Esau do. This nigga Michael Rush. Let's run this back. Because this is the point I want to make. Let's go back.
It's all about a prophecy of Ezra's eagle. And Michael, I think you are even one of the first to saying, I don't know, this could all be wrong. We won't know until, it's proven right or wrong, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this, I'd be the first to say I absolutely hope that this is not true.
Me too.
See, what they hope is not true is that this prophecy be fulfilled, man. And the revived Roman Empire, which is America, this last so-called white man's empire, be destroyed. Because we got next. And of course they hope this is not true. Because their kingdom is falling, man. And they trying to hold on to their kingdom long as possible. But they tell you in Job 11 and 20, Job 11 and 20, that the best hope for the wicked is just to give up the ghost, man. See, they trying to hold on, man. This kingdom is falling. Let's listen.
But it is pretty fascinating. First, would you explain what the Apocrypha is for people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Apocrypha is a list of 14 books, and prior to the turn of just prior to the turn of the 20th century, the Church of England yanked it from all King James Bibles. But prior to that point, it was included as a supplement between the Old and New Testament from 1611 to just before the 20th century. So, when the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower, this was included in their Bible. So it's something that a couple hundred years ago people were much more familiar with than they are today.
Now the scripture explains that the Roman Catholic Church controls religion, which is controlled by the so-called white man. So for him to say that when the Pilgrims came over here, they had the Apocrypha in their Bible. Now the Catholic Church got the Apocrypha in their Bible, man. And who controls religion? Roman Catholic Church, man, which is Roman Catholic dogma. In Revelation 16 and 13, it reads this. And I saw three unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. The false prophet is talking about the Roman Catholic Church, man. Okay? These three unclean frogs, out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. You got London, which is the monetary. London is the monetary, right? He said out of England. England was the one that removed the Apocrypha out the Bible. They call the Bible destruction group. So you got London, which is the monetary system. You got Washington, the District of Columbia, which is the military, and you got the Vatican, which is the religion, man. But yet, they had the Apocrypha when they came over here to Native American Indians, Seminole Indians, and the so-called Mexicans. But then these heathen to tell you today, and 2/3 slow-bellied niggas, oh, the Apocrypha not canonized. But here it is, an Edomite telling you that it is canonized. Listen to what he say further.
Most people don't know much about it at all. Also, the Apocrypha, go ahead, Glenn.
Go ahead. No, please.
So one of the reasons that the Apocrypha was pulled out by the Church of England is because it has errors in it. I mean, there's some historical inaccuracies and things. So that's one word of caution that should, always...
See, that's the slander that Esau gonna use. Ain't no inaccuracies in the Apocrypha, man. The Apocrypha reveal who it was that the Maccabees took down, man. Who they took the temple back from. Right? It was the Edomites. The scriptures tell you that. They destroyed, they put to flight the Edomites and took the temple back. This is when these so-called peoples of the Lord said, well, there's a term called what is it? What's these I'm trying to think of it, Salakia. Judaism, right? Judaism is when this Jake, the brothers of the Maccabees, converted the Edomites to follow the customs of the Israelites, man. To follow the Lord's customs. That's where Judaism comes from. Ain't no inaccuracy in the Apocrypha, man. But anyway, let's listen.
Always accompany anytime you're reading an apocryphal book. It's not included in the canonized scripture for a reason.
Okay. And the book of Ezra is the first book of the Apocrypha, the first and second book.
Listen to this.
It is a cousin or a brother of Daniel. Is that the connection?
Well, so if you look at Ezra and Daniel, these are both people that were taken captive into Babylon when Babylon came in and conquered Jerusalem. So they're brothers in that sense. I don't know that they're related.
Of course they're related. But we would say they were cousins. Because Ezra was a Levite, man. He come from the line of Aaron, man. You slow-bellied niggas. And Daniel be from the tribe of Judah, man. Stop playing games. See, this is what Esau do, man. They play games. Let's listen. But he's telling you, watch what he finna say. Ezra in the Apocrypha is the same Ezra in the Bible. Listen.
But they're brothers in that Babylonian captivity sense.
Okay. So there's a couple of reasons why I think people are attracted to, end times prophecy. One, because we're commanded to be aware of the signs of the times, so you know what's approaching.
See, there's one thing these Edomites can't do. See, Glenn Beck and Richard Wolf and Peter Schiff and Gerald Salente and Jeremy Babe and Redacted Clayton. What's this guy named Jim Rickards? They can go into what's going on. They can't tell you the why and who's causing it. So these Edomites are terrified, man, because their kingdom is falling. So they scared, man.
But also, I think some people just like to dabble in this because they're looking for a sign that God's aware of the situation and it's explainable and what's going on because the world makes no sense. So they're looking for a connection to God. So you are the only one. This Ezra's eagle was known to be or thought to be Rome for a long time. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, that was the common belief. In fact, they attribute this to the first century AD, largely because they thought, well, Ezra's, he's talking about Rome.
Right, but it doesn't really work for Rome. And the only real
See, they don't want it to work for Rome. But in fact, Ezra was talking about the Roman Empire, man. The 12 Caesars. The three heads, man. The three heads, which was Julius Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey, man. And you got the 12 feathers. See, this is prophecy we talking about here. They don't understand prophecy. And as the brother Nahaya did a beautiful lesson on it, man. They don't understand this. And the Edomites are terrified. They tell you in Ecclesiastes 12, the keepers of the house shall tremble. When you read in Jeremiah 50 and 43, let's read this. See, these Edomites are scared, man. Even though these low level, they still juiced in. They scared, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and 43. These Edomites are scared, man. The king of Babylon had heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him in pains as of a woman in travail. Then you got the one in Job. This is Job 15. See these guys, they losing, man. So they terrified too. This is Job 15 and 20. Job 15 and 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears, and prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. So this dreadful sound is their kingdom is falling. They losing, man.
question I have on this is how you came up with, well, explain what the eagle is and what the feathers are first, and then we'll talk about how you assigned a date to that.
Okay, so the vision starts with Ezra seeing this large eagle coming up out of the ocean. And the eagle isn't normal. It has 3 heads and 2 massive wings. And on the right wing...
See, this nigga said the eagle coming up out of the ocean, man. It's talking about these people coming out from out of the midst of the people, man. Because everything is through genealogy, through birth. Men. Kings coming out of kings and princes coming out of men. See, he don't even know what the hell he talking about, man. Talking about the ocean. It's parables, man. Dark sayings, allegories. They raised up out of the people, man.
It has 14 feathers, and 12 of these feathers are long, and 2 of them are short. And then on the left side, there's just 6 little feathers. And fortunately, Ezra has this angelic guide that's with him, and he kind of points things out to Ezra and explains the meaning. And one of the things that this angelic guide explains to Ezra is that this eagle represents a powerful kingdom that will have global domination in the end times. And he goes on to explain that the feathers on the respective wings represent the leaders of this country. And, so there's 20 consecutive leaders, and they serve one after another. So right out of the gate, this is something of a timeline to count down, beginning with the first feather and going to a big prophetic event that allegedly will take place in the last days.
So it's fascinating to me because what caught my attention was the pegging of those feathers to U.S. presidents is stunning. However, you have to take a leap of faith because it doesn't go all the way back to George Washington. I think you're the only one that has pinned this. Were you the first to come up with this? To pin it to Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So see, these Edomites don't know nothing, man. This goes back to the Roman Empire. This nigga talk about the presidents. It said 12 feathers, man. It's been over what, 40 something, 50 presidents, man? What is this nigga talking about? Now, when you read in 2nd Ezra 11 and 39, I want to get this, because he said that Ezra was prophesying of a vision in the end times, which it is. So you got the Roman Empire, which was the fourth beast, right? When you go to 2nd Ezra 11 and 39, it reads this. Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? Right? Who was the fourth beast? The Roman Empire. Who controlled the Roman Empire? The Edomites. So like the Edomites. There's a book called The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomites. Everybody know the empire, the Roman Empire was controlled by the so-called white man. Edomites. Again, it said, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? Why is it saying that the end of their times may come through them? Because this is the prophecy on the Edomites. When you go to Jeremiah, which we do all the time, Jeremiah 50 and 45, it said the same thing. It said in 2 Ezra 11:39. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon, and his proposals that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Now, when you go to Jeremiah 49, this is Jeremiah 49 in verse 20. It reads, this is the same precept it just read in Jeremiah 50 and 45. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom, in his proposals that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So it said in 2 Ezra 11:39, let's read again. It reads, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? So when you go to 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it said the end of their times may come through them. Who? The Edomites. The Lord is finna use the Russian Edomites to destroy the American Edomites, which is the fall of all falls. 2 Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it, their follower. So if Esau is the end of the world, prophecies say the end of their times is going to come through them. Who? Edomites. The Lord ain't going to use Chinese to destroy Edomites. He ain't going to use Japanese or Iranians to destroy Edomites. He's using Edomites to destroy Edomites. Now, the Iranians and the Chinese and the other nations are going to join the Russians, but it's through the guard in Ezekiel 38. The guard being Russia, Gog, which is the Edomites, going to destroy the Edomites. See, these prophecies link up. What they saying that these niggas trying to divert from their judgment. Let's listen more to this devil.
So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you've pinned it to Hoover as the first feather, and I want you to explain that. But I want to make a disclosure here. This is a part where Michael and I share in our faith. Our faith teaches us that in the end days there will be a secret combination. It will be, basically the deep state, and that kind of sets the clock ticking. And the Book of Mormon is just history, but really an outline of what things are going to look like as we approach the latter days. and it's shockingly accurate to what is happening today. And that's how you came. This is the only Mormon part of it, if I'm not mistaken. You pinning this to Hoover. How did you get there?
So really, it's pinned to Hoover because of the incredibly specific language regarding the second feather in this series. So the verbiage of the prophecies says, paraphrasing it, says that the second leader will serve twice as long as any other leader of this country. And that before the end of his official,
And that was talking about Augustus, man. That was talking about Augustus, man. Listen to this slow-bellied nigga, man.
Administration, none other would be able to serve unto the half of the time that he served. So, I mean, that is incredibly specific language. So it was really this that caused me to hone in on Hoover, because there's only one president in the United States that this could possibly be talking about, and it's Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was elected to 4 terms in office. He died of natural causes, in his first or in his 4th term. But Congress passed the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution before his official 4th term concluded, barring all future presidents from serving more than 2 years. So, I mean, this is what just locked it in for me, because this is incredibly specific. And so
when you started with FDR and then you go through the feathers, which we will in a second, it is incredibly specific.
So I just pulled this up. Presidents, right? George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, bastard. He was the 7th president. 7 means mercy. That nigga ain't show Gad, Reuben, Issachar no mercy. Martin Van Buren, 8th president. William Henry Harrison, 9th president. John Tyler, 10th president. James K. Polk, 11th president. Zachary Taylor, 12th president. Millard Fillmore, 13th president. Franklin Pierce, 14th president. James Buchanan, Buchanan, 15th president. Abraham Lincoln, 16th president. Andrew Johnson, 17th president. Ulysses S. Grant, 18th president. Rutherford B. Hayes, 19th president. James Garfield, 20th president. Chester A. Arthur, 21st president. Grover Cleveland, 22nd and 24th president. Benjamin Harrison, 23rd president. Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th president. William McKinley, 25th president. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th president, who said that a thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. William Howard Taft, 27th president. Woodrow Wilson, 28th president. Warren G. Harding, 29th president. Calvin Coolidge, 30th president. Herbert Hoover, the 31st president. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 32nd president. Harry S. Truman, 33rd president. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 34th president. John F. Kennedy, 35th president. Lyndon B. Johnson, 36th president, who started that 501c3 tax exempt that all these other camps have. Richard Nixon, 37th president. Gerald Ford, 38th president. James Carter, 39th president. Ronald Reagan, 40th president. George A.W. Bush, 41 president. William J. Clinton, 42nd president. George W. Bush, 43rd president. Barack Obama, 44th president. And the 40 and double folds mean mercy, mercy. And he ain't show you no mercy. That nigga, he was the one that passed the Rainbow Sliders Act. Gave Rainbow Sliders equal to act rights. 45th president, Donald Trump. 46th president, Joseph R. Biden Jr. The second as 11 don't apply to the American presidents. It's all spiritual. Because you know those bastards came back in reincarnation. In those 12 Caesars, we know in fact it's these presidents. We don't know which ones they are, but we know they here. We know they was here. Because everything is reincarnated. And there is nothing new under the sun.
And nails our presidency, the succession of presidents, exactly. But also, if I may, it was the Council of Foreign Relations that really, during the Hoover times, that it really took a hold. And that kind of plays a role later in the prophecy when you switch to the other wing, if you will. So explain the feathers and how they are marked for each president and what lines up.
So people ask me if there's a secret to my success, and I often joke that I have an unfair advantage.
Yeah. So that it starts with Herbert Hoover, and as you mentioned, if you Google
and see this nigga bugged out, cause he trying to line up what this nigga is doing. And I just read you these presidents, right? So this nigga's trying to line up these presidents. He trying to line up these presidents with the 12 fellas starting at 31 president. Come on, bro. Stop it. So he's saying, where's Herbert Hoover? Herbert Hoover, the 31st president. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from Herbert Hoover, if he using these 12 feathers, from Herbert Hoover, the 12th president will be William J. The 12th Caesar will be William J. Clinton. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Let go.
Founding members of the Foreign Relations, the Council on Foreign Relations, Herbert Hoover comes up. So that's very interesting in the context of this. And you talked about secret combinations. If you read in the book of Revelation, in chapter 17, John sees this amazing vision of the whore of Babylon. And I think that this is what, is the underlining context of what's going on in this vision. It's not so much a vision about these presidents as it is the rise and infiltration of this country by this whore of Babylon. And that's why it starts with Hoover, in my opinion. So,
see, in his opinion, nigga, we don't care about your opinion. And that's not facts according to the Bible. According to prophecy, it has nothing to do with no Herbert Hoover. So if you go from these 12 feathers, from Herbert Hoover, which is 31st president, the 12th feather lands on Clinton. That's not what 2nd Ezra 11 talking about, man. This nigga's going off. See, this is Esau winging it because they don't know the scriptures. It tell you in Daniel 12:10 that the wise shall understand, the wicked will not understand these prophecies, man. And this is beautiful because they don't know, but they terrified, they trembling, they scared. You heard what it said in the beginning. I hope this doesn't come to pass.
Then it goes through through, there's as I said, there's 14 feathers on the right side, and these 14 feathers seem to be counting down, and the specific language of the prophecy gives some other very curious information with regards to two short feathers that would be amongst these 14.
Now, we dealt with 14 feathers. It lands on Barack Obama, which is the 44th president. So from Herbert Hoover, which would be the first, to the 12th, no, to the 14th, it'll be Barack Obama. This don't line up with prophecy, man.
And the specific language is that by the time you see the second of these two feathers, you will be approaching the midpoint of this timeline. So when you look at, starting with Herbert Hoover.
It's hard.
Herbert Hoover. And go to the 14th president, it's Barack Obama. So when you look in there for two presidents who were short feathers, meaning in the verbiage of the prophecy, a short feather is someone who has had their administration cut short by contrary or nefarious, means. And I attribute that to the, involvement of this whore of Babylon terminating their presidency prematurely. So you look at this.
Now, the two shortest of the Roman Empire was Otho and let's see, Salakia. I know Otho was one. These Edomites, I know what they be talking about, man. I'm gonna let this play, and I'm gonna get this
list, and you go, it jumps right out at you that you've got JFK, who was assassinated, and then you have Richard Nixon, who was forced to resign. Now, as you go through this timeline, Richard Nixon is 45 years into it, and the prophecy again says when you see the second of these short feathers, you're going to be halfway through this timeline. And then you look at Barack Obama. Well, that was about 43 years later. So that again just matches up perfectly with what Ezra's talking about here. So not only do you have the FDR and these two short, you also have these two short feathers, and it's really hard for me to just kind of brush those things aside and say, this is really just talking about Rome or something else, because it's so applicable to American history. Yeah.
And again, that doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that so far it's nailed everything in the prophecy. But the second part of the prophecy,
he just said it.
When you get
he just said it do mean that, man. See, these Edomites lean until they don't understand it, man. Because they don't want to accept the fact that their kingdom is ruled by Edomites, man. Hold on. You heard what this nigga said, man. Hold on, man.
When you see the second of these short feathers, you're going to be halfway through this timeline. And then you look at Barack Obama. Well, that was about 43 years later. So that, again, just matches up perfectly with, what Ezra's talking about here. So not only do you have the FDR and these two short, you also have these two short feathers. And it's really hard for me to just kind of brush those things aside and say, this is really just talking about Rome or something else, because it's so applicable to American history. Yeah.
It ain't talking about Rome or something else. It's talking about the Roman Empire, man. Now, America's revived Roman Empire, so it's talking about Babylon the Great now. And of course, whoever those 12 Caesars were, they came again in this time, man. But the prophecy of 2nd Ezra 11 is talking about the Roman Empire and the 12 Caesars, man.
Yeah. And again, that doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that so far it's nailed everything in the prophecy. But the second part of the
So if it's nail everything in prophecy, then what else? What are you talking about? See, here goes the slander, man. This is slander the so-called white man that gets the truth for Yahweh Shema Shah.
prophecy, when you get specifically to Donald Trump and now this administration, and then what happens from here is stunning. And, 5 years ago, I would have said, well, that's going to be hard. I could see all of this happening. I could also see it not happening, but it's not a far stretch to think that these next few feathers, if you will, these next few events that Ezra talks about in the Apocrypha, it's plausible and possible that it comes. We're talking to Michael Rush. He is an author of the book A Remnant Shall Return, which has been out for a long time, but is now starting to sweep, at least in my community in Idaho. And people are talking about it, and they say the same thing. Everybody says, I have no idea if this is real, but it is fascinating how it all lines up. And I really appreciate, Michael, your approach on this, too, that you're saying it could be wrong. I hope it's wrong, but it is interesting to look at. So you get to Barack Obama, and then you start to get up to Donald Trump. And in these feathers that are on this one wing of Ezra's eagle, it's showing all the presidents. And then the last one on one side would be Donald Trump, right?
Correct. So, the first 14 feathers are on the right side of the eagle. And so now Donald Trump is the first feather on the left wing of the eagle. And the thing that all of the feathers on the left side of the eagle have is they are all short, meaning if my interpretation of this is true, that all of their administrations will be cut short by the machinations of this whore of Babylon.
And Donald Trump, you could only say he was cut short if he was to serve 2 terms, and there was nefarious purposes, right? Because he served his whole term.
This is where you have to look at what does it mean to be cut short. Does it mean that you only serve 1 term? Is it referring to the length of in office? And I don't think that that's what defines a short feather. So
it's a Galba from 68 to 69 AD, and Ortho 69 AD, which he died in 69 AD, because after him Vitellius came in 69, and Vitellius ain't ruled that long either, because Vespasian came in 69 AD. So it looked like Ortho and Galba was the 2 shortest Caesars that reigned. Anyway, nigga going off, man.
Have long feather presidents that serve 1 term or 2 terms. I think that the definition of what makes a feather short is whether the deep state terminated their presidency. So when you look at, and again, we're talking about a prophecy that is at least 2,000 years old. So it is so eerie how it mirrors these things. So when you look at
it's
now, go ahead.
Especially, I don't mean to interrupt, but we're going to have to break it aside. Especially, I don't know if you saw the news this week, that now they are coming out with the news on Nixon that it looks like the deep state and the CIA actually was responsible for the break-in and the Nixon resignation.
So, let me go back, because we'll make this point. Let's play it back from the top.
A Remnant Shall Return is the book that we're going to be discussing today. And it's all about a prophecy of Ezra's eagle. And Michael, I think you are even one of the first to saying, I don't know, this could all be wrong. We won't know until, it's proven right or wrong, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, This, I'd be the first to say I absolutely hope that this is not true.
Me too.
See, they hope that it's not true. Well, let me read something to you. You Edomites, and all you heathen, and you 2/3 slow-bellied niggas out there. Let me read something to you. This is Habakkuk, chapter 1 and 5. It reads, Behold ye among the heathen, talking to you Israelites. The Lord is talking to you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard, and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told to you. Now, I also want to read Habakkuk 1 and 6. Because it said that the Roman Empire in 2nd Ezra 11:39. Let's go back to this. And I'm going to read this Habakkuk 1 and 6. In 2nd Ezra 11:39 it reads, Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? And the fourth came and overcome all the beasts that were past. The beasts that were past, when you go to Daniel 7, it's 4 beasts. And had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole comers of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth has thou not judged with truth. That's why I say in James 2 and 13, they will be showed no mercy who showed no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment. Right? For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable. The meek and peaceable are the Israelites. Thou hast loved liars, joined together with the other heathen nations, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, the Israelites, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. That was Jerusalem, the Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They cast down the walls of them that did thee no harm, starting with the Greek Empire, with Antiochus Epiphanes, man. Then Titus and Vespasian. This what happened of Vespasian and Titus. Because these were the orders that was given to Titus from Vespasian, man. Vespasian. Yeah. It reads, For thou hast, 2 Ezra 11:42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. What did the Lord say in Isaiah 45? This is Isaiah 45. What did the Lord say right here, man? No, Isaiah 49, Salakia. Isaiah 49 and 15, it reads, Can a woman forget her sucking child that she shall have? Salakia, can a woman forget her suckling child that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget. Yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. What walls? Jerusalem. Jerusalem. When you go to the Apocrypha, right? I'm going to go back to the Habakkuk. Let's get this. When you go to 2nd Ezra, let's go here. Salakia. Second Maccabees 5, if I ain't mistaken. It may be First Maccabees. Let's see here. So this is First Maccabees 5 and 1. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, Jerusalem, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it did please them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generations of Jacob that was among them. This is talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. During the time of Jerusalem, when Antiochus Epiphanes was in power. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arebathim, because they besieged Gael, and he gave them great overthrow, and abated their courage, and took their spoils. Also, he remembered the injury of the children of Beam, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, in that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up therefore in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burnt the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. See, it said, then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arebathim, because they besieged Gael, and gave them a great overthrow, and abated their courage, and took their spoils. Then I want you to talk about this right here. This is one of the power moves of the Maccabees, who took the temple back from the Edomites, man. Now, to go back to Habakkuk 1, to link that with 2 Ezra 11. Because in 2 Ezra 11, let's read this again. It said that they had what? Let's read it. 2 Ezra 11:40. 39 again. Are not thy it that remaineth of the four beasts who are made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. That's in Daniel 7. The four beasts. It reads, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole comers of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he in the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. The Roman Empire. And therefore appear no more thy eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads. This is another cut to this guy, talking about these 12 wings applied to America. It said, and therefore appear no more thy eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. The Roman Empire was destroyed, but it was revived. The fatal wound. It's the American Empire now. And even David Guzik said, let me read this in Habakkuk, because this is the same precept to the 2 Ezra 11. And I'm going to get this comment from David Guzik. This is Habakkuk 1:6. It reads, because it said the Roman Empire took over the earth with much wicked oppression, right? So in Habakkuk 1:6, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation. America, the word America means bitter. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans. The modern day Chaldeans is the Edomites, the so-called white man, the elites of them. Your Oppenheimers, your Rothschilds, your Chicagobas, your Oppenheimers, Vanderbilts, the Wahlbergs, the Cohens, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed to themselves. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, Lepers. Why does it mention lepers? Because go back to the Greek Empire. The beginning rulership of the so-called white man was with the Greeks. And they are more fierce than the evening wolves, and their horses shall spread themselves. You know, the Roman Empire spread themselves thin because of their army. America doing the same thing. And their horsemen shall come from far. Prophecy. A nation from far whose tongue thou shalt not understand. They shall fly as the eagle that hastens to eat. Reincarnated. The eagle of 2nd Ezra 11 has been reincarnated. That's why America used the eagle. The Greeks used the eagle. The Romans used the eagle. They shall come off of violence. Their faces shall sup as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. And they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. The Israelites. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. This is what the so-called white man done, man. Beginning with Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, to the Roman Empire, now to the revival Roman Empire. Now, I'm going to close with this. This is what David Guzik said. When you go to the commentary on Revelation 17. Let's go to this real quick. Now, when you go to Revelation 17, in the blue letter, when you go to verse 10, right? Verse 10 reads, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. Now, it said there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. The 5 are fallen, Germana Major, Germana Minor, French, Spanish, and the Greeks. Okay, and it said one is, and the one that is. Right? It say 5 are fallen, and one is. This was John's writing this. So the one that was the Roman Empire. So you had the French, the Spanish, and the Greeks fell. Germana Major, and Germana Minor. That was the 5 that was fallen. One is, and the other is not yet come, which was the British Empire. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, which is America, and is of the 7th. America came out of the 7th, which is Great Britain, the British, and goeth into perdition. Now, we're going to go to these that have fallen. This is the translation comparison. This is what David Guzik said. Hold on. When you go to text commentaries, right? You go to text commentaries, you got to go to Revelation 17. Commentary on Revelation 17, Matthew Henry. You got John Brown, Jameson, Fawcett, and Brown. But when you go to this guy, hold on here. Where is he? David Guzik, right? Study guide for Revelation 17. Listen to what he say. When you scroll down, you got to go to chapter 10. Revelation 17 and 10. This is what he say. Revelation 17 and 10. 7 kings are fallen. Now this is what David Guzik say. There are also 7 kings, 5 have fallen, one is, and the other has not yet come. And when he come, he must continue a short space. So he say, 5 have fallen refers to the 5 world empires before John's day. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo and Persian Empire, and Greece. The one is refers to the world empire of John's day, Rome. So he got this right. But the 5 that are fallen, he said, is Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo and Persian, and Greece, which is not, that's off. It's Germana Major, Germana Minor, French, Spanish, and the Greeks. Now he said the other One E is referred to the world's empire of John's day, Rome, which is correct. Now listen to what he say about the one that has not yet come. The other has not yet come refers to the one world empire to come, a revival of the Roman Empire. So he referring to this other one that has not yet come is talking about the British Empire. But it was talking about, he said it's talking about, he said the one that has not yet come refers to one world empire to come, a revival of the Roman Empire, which is America. But this was talking about Great Britain. See? Show you that they got truths with lies, man. Now, when you go back, because I never did this. Let me see what so that was David Guzik. Let's see what Matthew Henry say on Revelation 17 and 10. See, he don't give you no breakdown. See, David Guzik is the one. So we see, going back, Revelation 17 and 10, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. So the other that's not yet come was talking about Great Britain, man, the British. See?
But it is pretty fascinating. First, would you explain what the Apocrypha is for people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Apocrypha is a list of 14 books, and prior to the turn of just prior to the turn of the 20th century, the Church of England yanked it from all King James Bibles. But prior to that point, it was included as a supplement between the Old and New Testament from 1611 to just before the 20th century. So, when the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower, this was included in their Bible.
See? Why did they remove it? Because it reveals too much. Yahweh mentioned the Feast of Dedication in the book of Matthew, man. Which is only other mention, any other time is in the Apocrypha. Hey, so Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh, Bahashim, Rikah, Kodash. That belongs to the apostles and the bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, raised and accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all that can pushing the truth and believing in the truth through the four winds of the earth. The entire world shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Agwath who will listen learning. If you sisters will listen learning throughout tuning in, may Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Until next time, we say Shalom. Wa Ababu Ball. Hey, listen, man. These Edomites don't know these breakdowns, man. Let me close with this. This is Daniel's. They winging it, man. They winging it. This is Daniel chapter 12 and 10. This is your final destination. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. You Edomites don't know these scriptures, man. Stick to analyzing what's going on, what's happening, not to the reason why it's happening and who's doing it. You don't know that. It's coming from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who you even call Jesus, God and Jesus. Shalom.